Mental Health Awareness Month. There are also other observances, but we're going to focus on that today and for a little while. But my topic today, and I'll try and make this fast, is really about fasting from social media and how it can help build your clarity, even touch on self worth, and we'll talk about that. And it's just incredible. I talk about this with my daughter, and she's 12 years old, and it's just their world, right? Their world. They grew up with, having, a phone, an iPad, computer, and all the things just at their disposal, and depending on how much per parents and what you allow and don't allow and all the things. But even for us with our adult brain and knowing consciously that if you scroll too much, you're wasting time. And not only that, there's that aspect of looking at other people and what they do and what they have. And it can really make you feel small if you allow it. But what I'm saying is there's that sense of feeling less than by looking at people who seemingly have more than. So, have you ever caught yourself scrolling? Let's forget about the time, because sometimes it can be 20 minutes, it could be an hour, and suddenly you felt anxious, or you felt less confident, or just that heavy feeling of a weight of something of maybe you should be doing or that you haven't done or anything like that. So the thing is by really giving of yourself and your mental bandwidth to scrolling or just being on, you know, social media for way too long really does steal your peace. And so why would social media fasting be beneficial? I think without even me giving you any, you know, points going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, without doing that, it's beneficial to take a break from it. But what about the fasting? Like really like 24 hours or more a weekend, or maybe one full day a week kind of thing. What can that do for your health, for your mental health? This is really, really important. And this is the point, as this is Mental Health Awareness Month. This is about protecting your peace and having a sense of like just like lightness in your spirit by detaching from social media. So one of the things it reduces is comparison. And we've heard of the saying, comparison is the thief of joy. When we look at others, and especially on social media, when they seemingly have all this stuff where they're doing well, or you know you knew them when they started and all of a sudden they're blowing up. It may be the case, but it may not be the case. We don't know. It's just our perception, right? But it does, if you fast, can reduce that sense of comparison, which is great, and self-doubt. Because what does that do? We doubt ourselves. And for some people, what they do now, they go internal and they start berating themselves and you know saying all these negative things. It's and then all of a sudden that the ants kick in, the automatic negative thoughts, right? So it can trigger these feelings of inadequacy, especially if you're working through self-esteem. Now, when it comes to mental health, like just to share a little snippet about me, I am nearly 7 years sober from alcohol. So I understand feeling powerless against something, and social media could be that thing where you're so in your head and you're feeling down or whatever. It's easy to detach and just scroll and just scroll, mindless scrolling. And before you know it, hours can really have passed, and that's not healthy. So when you fast, it also improves your focus and your presence. So you don't have that to distract you. You don't have the phone or the computer, typically it's the phone, to distract you. Now you're able to focus on something that matters. But you have to think about, what can I do in place of the time that I would, scroll and focus on something. Maybe there's a small project in your house. Maybe there's a phone call if you've been kind of like delaying and making, and just make a point to make that phone call, reach out to someone, reach out to a friend, kind of thing. It also calms the nervous system, believe it or not, but we could get anxious about looking at what other people are doing and all the great things that they're posting, and we honestly don't know if that's true. We don't. But all you can do is focus on yourself, but you need to detach from it in order to start to feel a sense of peace and a sense of calm, and be able to focus your energies and your mental bandwidth on something more meaningful and useful for you. And it also strengthens your real world relationships, so you can have more conversation with your child or with your spouse or with a friend. You could reach out to someone, go have coffee or something. Now you're able to get out of your head and have a relationship or a deeper relationship with someone. So here are some tips. So setting a clear intention. Maybe you say to yourself, okay, this week I'm going to take one day that's arbitrary. Let's say tomorrow, Wednesday. Tomorrow, I'm not going to, but you have to set yourself up for that success too. So maybe if there are some people that you typically are in connection with on a daily basis, maybe you let them know, hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to be like fasting, or I'm taking a break from social media the whole day. I will connect with you on Thursday, let's say, for example. So at least you're letting them know, the people that you are in constant communication with, so that they don't worry. If there's any, you know who you need to let know that you are going to take a break from social media, so they don't they're not worried. But set the intention, and maybe write down some of the things that you want to accomplish because you have the time, by removing yourself from social media. And it could be just reconnecting with yourself. It could be, cleaning your office, cleaning your house, cleaning your room, doing some laundry, just going for a walk, going to the gym, some things that you may already do, but this is more about being intentional. Intentionality is very powerful. And pick your time. You're going to start at 7 in the morning until the following, day, 7 in the morning, then do that. And maybe you send out some messages right before that happens, and then you shut it off, like shut it off. Um, and it just, by logging out, sometimes shutting off the notifications, maybe you need to have your phone, so that if anyone calls, or you have a child, they're in school, you need your phone and the mode of communication. But with regard to social media, maybe it's removing the app from your phone. You could always upload it, but removing your app or shutting off the notifications, things like that. So anyway, that's just a handful of things that I wanted to mention to you that I hope resonates and I hope helps you. It really is and can be it is powerful and can be transformative for mental clarity, for self-worth, reducing the anxiety, and having more peace and sanity in your life. These are things that are most important, but we have to be intentional with it. And say to yourself, I can do this. Like, I can do this, because you can. You absolutely can do it. You just have to take the time. You just have to take a moment to set the intention and set yourself up for success. So, with that being said, my friends, have you have you ever done a social media fast? If you have, I'd love to hear what you've done. And if you haven't, I hope that this resonated and it's something that it'll at least plant the seed, and get you to think that it's possible. And if one day is way too much, maybe half a day, maybe it's you don't go to social media until, like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have the whole morning to really be more intentional with taking care of what needs to be taken care of, doing things that are more meaningful, or it's more of an afternoon or evening time. You know what's best for you. So, with that, my friends, have a great rest of your day. That is my topic for today. And if no one's told you lately, you are amazing and you are enough. So, peace out, my friends. See you here again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Peace out. There it is.